Cynthia is my pick for the greatest champion in all of Pokemon, and for my entire life as a Pokemon trainer, I've believed there is nobody in the universe who could defeat her in battle. But what if I could actually test this theory? Today, that's exactly what I'm doing. Sinnoh's gym leaders are among the strongest in the series, so if there's anyone in the region who has a chance at rising above Cynthia and her Garchomp, it's them. This was a fun challenge in Hoenn, and what I'm about to experience is even more chaotic. So buckle up. This is the Sinnoh Gym Leader Challenge. The challenge is simple. Each Sinnoh gym leader will face Pokémon Platinum's Elite Four with the goal of defeating Cynthia and entering the Hall of Fame, thus becoming champion of the Sinnoh region. Now, the only person who could beat Cynthia with a Geodude, Onix, and Cranidos is LeBron. So to give each leader a team capable of competing, I will be using their post-game rematch teams from Pokémon Platinum. Movesets, abilities, and held items must remain as they appear on these teams. Ultimately, the goal is to build teams that are as authentic to each leader as possible while still giving them the best chance to go all the way. Make no mistake, we have one of the hardest leagues in the entire franchise ahead of us, so we'll need these gym leaders at their best. I considered using a grading system like Adef does in his Victory Road Trainer videos, since I love those videos and they've served as a major inspiration in how I've gone about presenting this challenge, but ultimately, you either become champion or you do not. There is no try. There are a couple of other important notes on screen now regarding how I went about building these teams, with the most important probably being the initial level cap of 59 to match Lucian's Gallade, as well as my banning of damage calcs. Oh, and the zipper on my bag is broken, so I can't use items in battle. Just a fun little extra wrinkle. With all that out of the way, let's get into the challenge.
I know it's a rock! Don't you think I know a rock when I see a rock? I've spent a lot of time around rocks!
Rourke likes rocks. Who wouldn't?
You can't have that cookie, Elmo. Rocco wants to eat it. How? How is Rocco going to eat that cookie, Zoe? Tell Elmo. Rocco doesn't even have a mouth. Rocco's just a rock.
Alright, well, in his attempt to prove the power of rocks to Elmo, Rourke has assembled a squad of some of the strongest stones in Sinnoh. The duo of Aerodactyl and Tyranitar will act as our foundation. The former is a fast physical attacker with a great secondary typing into Aaron and Bertha, and the latter is arguably the greatest rock-type Pokemon of all time. The trio of Probopass, Golem, and Rampardos rounds out the team nicely, and with 5 unique typings, I'm feeling pretty good about Rourke overall. Though I do have to point out that these Sinnoh leader teams only have 5 Pokemon each, whereas their Hoenn counterparts had 6. Now in Hoenn, Sydney was a total pushover, but Aaron, he has a fairly threatening team. Just take a look at his lead Yanmega. The Dragonfly has the Speed Boost ability, which does exactly what it sounds like. And this guy also has Double Team. If you let him boost his evasion, good luck. While Vespiquen isn't that tough, Scizor, Heracross, and Drapion all present different challenges, and help Aaron counter his rock-type weakness. My best play for Yanmega is to try getting out ahead of potential double teams by taking it out in one hit, but rock-type attacks aren't exactly known for their accuracy, so I simply pray for Aerodactyl to hit a Stone Edge on turn 1, and he rewards my trust in him. Wanting to save Arrow for Heracross later, I pass the ball to Tyranitar for Scizor. T-Tar has Fire Fang, which could not be a more perfect move for this matchup. As I alluded to, Aerodactyl makes quick work of Heracross, and he proceeds to sweep through Drapion and Vespiquen to get Rourke's run started on the right note. Bertha, however, is a different story. Trading in a beneficial type matchup for an unfavorable one, Sinnoh's eldest Elite Four member will require careful strategies to navigate through her ground types. Getting off to a good start is crucial, so I may as well send out my best Pokemon. Tyranitar not only 2-shots with Crunch, but he dodges an Aqua Tail in the process, allowing him to put in good work against Hippowdon as well before falling. Now, I actually have options for how to KO Hippowdon, as opposed to simply praying to LeBron. With the Hippo's low HP, I choose Rampardos, whose Earthquake is more than enough to advance the fight to Bertha's rock types. Unfortunately, a super effective Earthquake isn't quite enough to knock out Golem, but the same is true for Rampardos. Regardless, one thing is becoming clear. I'm going to need Rourke's remaining rocks to clutch up if we want to pull out the W. Unfortunately, obviously, yes, Rampardos has Avalanche for Gliscor, however, I would get destroyed by Earthquake. That's good damage. I will certainly take that. Okay, there's the Citrus. That's not bad. And there's Avalanche, which definitely takes me out. I think I could Golem here. Hopefully this kills. I am faster. Okay, I was right about that at least. If this does not KO, I'm potentially in rough shape. Okay. So I get Earthquaked in return. That's kind of tough. I feel like I probably live this. Okay, I do barely live. We probably pull a heel turn here, so I should Earthquake again. Okay. I think that did over half last time. I don't know for sure. That does... Oh, that's a crit. That's a crit. Let's go, Golem. Yeah, it just comes down to Aerodactyl. I don't know if Aerodactyl can get through. I'm faster, and I'm going to be using Stone Edge, which is a high crit move. I basically just have to hit my Stone Edges. So, let's see it. Okay, we hit the first Stone Edge. Please do over half. I'm begging you to do over half. Ooh. Okay, Ice Fang. Do less than half and don't freeze. Come on. All right, she should be out of heals. I'd rather Stone Edge first. Plus, if I miss the Stone Edge, I'm going to want to do it again. And it's the high crit move. Yeah, I'm going to run it up. Okay, we hit another one. Crit. Just crit. I know I've already pulled a couple crits this time, but... All right, we get Thunder Fanged this time. Paralysis would end me. Okay, wait. All right, we certainly just Aerial Ace here for guaranteed hit. Let's go. She was out of full restores. Aerodactyl gets the job done. Bertha down. Rourke is moving on. Let's go. Stone Edge might only have 80 accuracy, but with Aerodactyl's clutch ability, it actually turns into 100 in the most crucial of moments. Bertha's team certainly had an advantage in that battle, but her having 2-part rock types gave us a slight window of opportunity, and we took full advantage of it to move on to the fire type master, Flint. He has a pretty solid mono fire team, but as you might expect, Rourke is in prime position for victory heading into this one. With 2 wins already, these Pokemon are ready for prime time. They will not be paralyzed by the moment, nor by actual paralysis from Flint's attacks. I'm also able to take advantage of how the AI chooses moves to bait them into Solar Beam, even without the sun. So, while Magmortar is busy charging up, Golem Earthquakes him into the ground. Rapidash is presumably likely to go for Solar Beam as well, but he of course clicks Bounce instead and lands minimal damage with a side of Paralysis. Like I said though, Rourke's team is ready for the bright lights of this battle, and Golem hits through twice to advance past the fiery Elite Four member. Heading into Lucian, his opener presents the biggest problem of any since Aaron's Yen Mega. Mr. Mime knows both Light Screen and Reflect. These moves threaten to reduce my damage output for 5 turns, which would give Lucian early momentum. For each leader, the plan will be to find the fastest and most powerful physical attacker I have in order to outspeed an Oko Mr. Mime before any screens go up. In this case, I lead with Aerodactyl and try hitting a Stone Edge, which quickly pierces through the barrier Pokemon's thin physical bulk for a quick one-hit KO, giving us the early lead. I'll need Aerodactyl again later, but I won't need Probopass, so I send the Mustached Sensation out against Bronzong to set Stealth Rocks, and he gets crit by Earthquake before getting any discharge damage off. Nice. No matter though, because now I get to unleash my secret weapon, Rampardos. The Headbutt Pokemon has the Mold Breaker ability, allowing him to bypass Bronzong's Levitate and land a powerful Earthquake. Unfortunately, Bronzong survives on red HP, but Lucian gets greedy. Going for a Calm Mind guarantees that after a full restore, another pair of Earthquakes knock out Big Zong. But now it is time for the biggest challenge of this battle, and most Lucian battles for that matter, Gallade. This guy is a demon, with 3 high crit ratio moves and Stab Drain Punch to extend his stay at the Hotel Battlefornia. Of course, the one non-high crit move lands a critical hit to KO Rampardos in a single punch, and with Big Dose failing to get any chip damage off before fainting, Aerodactyl has a lot more on his plate. Even though I'm pretty confident Aerial Ace will 2-shot, I'm going to need to dodge. Either just dodge Stone Edge, but importantly, dodge the crit. Because it's not if it's going to hit. This is the computer using Stone Edge. It's when it hits do I dodge the crit. Otherwise, I probably am cooked. Come on, Arrow. Please hold. Please hold. I'm begging you. I'm begging you, man. Let's go. Okay. Arrow finishes his meal, cleans the dish, and then hits yet another Stone Edge to KO Alakazam. He lands another one against Espeon that doesn't quite knock out the Evolution, but it does pave the way for Tyranitar to send us to the Champion's Room. I won't lie to you. I'm going into the Cynthia battle with the assumption that we are absolutely cooked. I don't know what dish rocks go well with, but I guess that's for Cynthia to figure out. Obviously, the star of the show here is Garchomp, who in this matchup resists my main stab attack source and hits 4 of my 5 Pokemon super effectively. Speaking of only having 5 Pokemon, yeah. Cynthia has a numbers advantage in addition to a top-line talent advantage. Between Lucario, Milotic, and Roserade as secondary threats to Cynthia's ace, we are in a heap of trouble. The battle doesn't exactly get off to a hot start. Rampardos smashes his head into a nearby wall rather than the Spiritomb right in front of him, taking 2 turns to KO Cynthia's lead rather than 1. With Aerodactyl as my best answer for Garchomp and Tyranitar and Probopass sharing a quad fighting weakness, my only choice is to send out Golem against Lucario, hoping that he, by some miracle, survives an Aura Sphere. He most certainly does not. So Arrow handles Big Luke instead, and now Milotic comes out. But Probopass lands a paralysis on discharge, which should be good news if it were not for the fact that Milotic has Marvel Scale for an ability, which boosts defense when statused. Not great, Bob. Well, T-Tar, it's looking like it's up to you to extend this battle. I don't know if you actually KO with Stone Edge here, but let's give it a try.
Yeah, I don't know. Let's just see it.
Crit, 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 crit.
Let's go, okay. Tyranitar giving us a chance.
T-Tar, you absolute legend. The king of rock types indeed. Unfortunately, Cynthia's had enough, sending out her Garchomp to swiftly discard my 2 remaining team members, putting an end to Rourke's Cinderella run. Rourke's run to the championship fight was impressive. His team took advantage of beneficial type matchups into Aaron and Flint, rolling through those 2 with little issue. And with a little bit of luck on Lucian in the Aerodactyl vs Gallade matchup, that battle wasn't too bad either. But if we're being honest, that Bertha matchup was sweaty. I feel like I came up with the best possible plan, but even then I required some help from a timely crit, as well as some clutch RNG dodges from Aerodactyl against Gliscor. And against Cynthia, Rourke realistically had no chance, barring getting crits on every single non-guaranteed KO. However, his team didn't go down without a fight, and he still managed to make it fairly competitive. Ultimately, I'm very happy that Rourke went deep in this run because now I've acquired experience against all 5 trainers I'll be facing throughout this challenge, which will definitely help as I make my attempts with these 7 gym leaders to come. The Nintendo DS was a big system for gardens. Gardenia, Peach's newly installed garden outside her castle in Super Mario 64 DS, and of course, Garden Mama. Also, did you know that according to Bulbapedia, gardens are secluded spaces for the cultivation and appreciation of plant life in the Pokemon world? Everyone say thank you, Pokemon, for inventing gardens, though one does have to wonder how the TD garden existed before Pokemon. Anyways, Gardenia is, of course, Sinnoh's grass-type specialist. As her name implies, she has all the staples of a beautiful garden. Flowers, 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 and a tortoise. Her team is a bit unbalanced. Roserade and Torterra are both great, but Jumpluff, Cherrim, and Blossom leave a lot to be desired. We also have a giant problem: bugs. Honestly, I don't know if this team even gets past Aaron's Yanmega, let alone his whole team. But I have put together a very creative strategy, if I do say so myself.
And I'm just gonna see how much Hyper Beam does. That's it. I do hit the Hyper Beam, which is pretty cool. And I would guess this does maybe 3/4. It should do a good amount. All right.
Thanks to Hyper Beam, I deem that this team has turned a win into more of a reality than a dream. Technically, I probably could have used Torterra to down the Dragonfly, but I needed to save Sinnoh's grass starter for Drapion. Aaron's ace hits everyone on my team at least super effectively, including my Tortoise. However, with Ice Fang being non-stab, Torterra shrugs it off like a champ and responds with an Earthquake knockout. After Big Turtle dunks on Vespiquen, Scizor hits the field and we're in prayer mode again. Blossom and Cherrim have nothing for the pincer Pokemon, so it's up to Jumpluff to save the day. She hits the clutch bounce and we are off to the whoops. Please hold. Okay, we're good. The next bounce lands, lifting us past a major threat and landing us in the lair of the Lord of the Land herself, Bertha. Do you like dancing? I like dancing. I'm not very good at it, but Blossom is. The flower Pokemon sets up Sun to put Chlorophyll online before Giga Draining through Whiscash. Blossom's watch has ended for this fight, and Gliscor is Bertha's biggest threat for Gardenia's team, so I'm content to see just how far this little dancer can take me. And oh my Arceus, she's actually done it. Gliscor down. What a legend. Before you know it, Blossom sends Golem, Rhyperior, and Hippowdon back to the bench, and it's time for Flint. Oh funny you should mention Flint. Fire's good against grass. There's a little Pokemon battling tip for you. So sure, Blossom takes advantage of Chlorophyll once Houndoom sets up Sun to two-shot Flint's big dog. And yeah, Torterra's jolly nature means my turtle outspeeds Flareon for an OHKO. But the only reason Rapidash falls is because it does so much damage with Flare Blitz that it eventually knocks itself out with recoil damage. So Flint has his two strongest Pokemon remaining and I have Jumpluff. There's just no way.
I'll have to pick up a Paralysis and just keep getting full para. And maybe a couple crits in there. I mean, I'll say this. If I can get a full para on this turn, it's not out of the question. And I think like I might perfectly 3-shot to where I avoid the heal up. Maybe Jumpluff even lives a flamethrower. Oh, Citrus Berry. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna need to hit 2 more bounces. Okay. Jumpluff. I mean, you're saying there's a chance. It keeps flamethrowing when I've gone up. This should 2-shot from here, maybe, hopefully. Oh my god. Oh no! Oh! And I got flamethrowed in return. Shoot. Can I live this? Is there any chance I live this? I do live it. Oh, that's messed up. That is messed up.
Let's be real, Gardenia was always going to get cooked by Flint. Maybe in a world where Roserade has a plus speed nature and is faster than the Rapidash, the chances could maybe go up a little bit, but the odds are way too thin for me to consider retrying this fight. And thus, Gardenia's run ends here. You know what though, getting past Aaron was a feat on its own. When I thought about this challenge initially, I wasn't sure if she would even get past his Yanmega. So shout out to Gardenia for doing the best she could with the hand she was dealt. I do think her team is actually pretty solid with some good options, but she just doesn't have any reliable answers for fire types. With a flair for the dramatic, Fantina's team is the most dynamic thus far. Gengar and Mismagius are looking like forces to be reckoned with. And then there's Drifblim, with perhaps the worst set I've ever seen. It relies on proccing 10% Omni boosts with Ominous or Silverwind and baton passing the stat boosts to a teammate. Just what was Fantina cooking here? Funnily enough, every time I've fought Aaron, Bertha, or Flint so far, it's been with either a type advantage or disadvantage. So I'm curious to see how well Fantina will fare with a neutral matchup into these three. Well, if she gets that far, that is. It's basically going to be 4v5 with Drifblim looking like Milwaukee Bucks Kyle Kuzma. If there's one thing about me, it's that I love leading with Mismagius against Aaron's Yanmega. As she wickedly one-shots with a Thunderbolt, Aaron's worst nightmare is about to become his reality. Mismag zip-zaps Scizor to the grave, crits a Psychic to knock out Heracross, and continues working her magic to show the Queen Bee who the Queen really be. I want my main mage to level up to 60, so rather than letting her faint against Drapion, I put my faith in Dusknoir to solo with double teams and rock slides. That was a mistake. It's never a mistake trusting Mismagius though. Well, it looks like Fantina has no troubles with Sinnoh's little bug boy. But what about the region's ground guru? Fantina doesn't have a grass type, but if a farm boy can blow up the Death Star, then Mismagius can act as the grass type of this team. She has Magical Leaf after all, and of course she OHKOs. Goat. I'm feeling it now. Hippowdon with Yawn? No worries. Here's Insomnia Banet for you, Bertha. While the ghostly puppet isn't able to take down the hippo herself, she gets the assist on the score by Gengar. Now, it's time for some Focus Blast gaming. Wait, that's not good. Oh no, no, no! Oh, the heart rate is all over the place, but it's fine, we're all fine. Gengar hits another Focus Blast, and I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. Mismagius tagged back in for cleanup duty against Gliscor to put an end to the unexpectedly tense Bertha battle. Okay, the last time we saw this man, he won. That means this fight means just a little more. Houndoom presents a tough matchup right away, as I don't have a single Dark Resist on this team. What I do have though is a Gengar with Focus Blast. She hasn't missed one yet, and the streak continues. 4 for 4. Drifblim is yet to get off the bench, but now it's her time to shine as an intentional sacrifice to set up Banet for the KO on Flareon. I mean, did you seriously think this moveset was gonna cut it? I'm expecting the incoming Rapidash to fire in a powerful Flare Blitz, but it goes for Solar Beam instead for some reason. So this is just another KO for Banet. Solar Beam AI is always weird, but when it works to my advantage, I will absolutely take it. Infernape does actually go for Flare Blitz, but Banette survives on 12 HP. What a beast. And with a bit of damage from Shadow Claw, Gengar's Psychic does more than enough to draw out Flint's final Pokemon, Magmortar. It's ace versus ace, and the Shadow Pokemon wins the face-off to seal the deal. So Fantina's team has been fabulous in its 3 matchups thus far, and with an advantageous one coming up, in theory she should have no trouble reaching Cynthia. But in practice, this is exactly how her fight with Lucian plays out. Gengar Shadow Balls through the first 2 Pokemon, though Alakazam outspeeds to stop the bleeding. A second Psychic comes up just short of KOing Banette, paving the way for a Shadow Claw one-shot. Bronzong takes a bit more effort on my end, but between Driftbloom and Dusknoir, the Bronze Bell does fall, and as usual, the key matchup in this battle is Gallade and his high crit moves. I have saved Miss Magius for this pivotal moment, but Dusknoir steals the spotlight, skillfully dodging a Stone Edge and shadow punching her way to a showdown with Cynthia. What follows is one of the most chaotic fights I've ever had the pleasure of experiencing. Past Drew, take it away.
I straight up just didn't know where to start. I'm going to double team until I'm dead to a regular move roll, as in a non-crit roll. That's it. That's tough. Never mind. That was a poor play. I'll Rock Slide, see if I can pick up a flinch. All right, at least I hit it. Flinch or miss. Flinch or miss. Come on, keep it coming. Keep it rolling. That's a crit. That's a crit. Keep it rolling. That's really funny, though. Okay, Dusknoir, honestly, great job. There was a chance I was going to be taking some hits. Instead, I'm going to end this at full HP. If I go for this Thunder, hit it, and get Mirror Coated, I'm just cooked. And there's nothing else I can do. I missed it. Go for Mirror Coat. It's okay. I am going to play this a little bit differently than maybe I had planned. I am going to go Driftblim. So what's great about this, though, is we're going to get Aftermath strats. Aftermath strats are going to come to play here, I believe. Or maybe they don't because it wasn't a contact move. I take it back. There wasn't a contact move, but getting off 2 turns of chip there might matter. I have no choice. I simply have no choice but to hope that this somehow miraculously kills from this range. Maybe we can pull another one of those crits? Okay. I'll be honest. I'm in much better shape at this point in the battle than I ever imagined I could be. If I hit Focus Blast, I probably KO. If I miss Focus Blast, I might get another chance to get another one off. It's non-stab. It's non-stab. Okay, I am going to get another one off. I mean, I want to be clear. I'm still probably cooked in the grand scheme of things. Okay, we do hit this. This, honestly, probably Okos. I'm still cooked in the grand scheme of things, but Fantina is making it a lot more competitive than I ever thought she would. Let's go. It's Roserade. Do I have to switch or do I just have to sack? I think I just have to sack here. Roserade is too especially bulky. If I'd hit that first Focus Blast, this would have been so much more interesting. Unfortunately, I didn't, which means that Gengar falls here. Probably. Definitely. Okay. So with that, it is a 2v2. The problem is one of those 2 for Cynthia is her Garchomp. Get me to 61. Okay. I am faster, which I did not expect to be, but because I'm level 61, I guess I am. Maybe some EVs along the way. Oh, wait. Okay. Hold on a second. Hold the phones, everybody. Hold them. I would have loved a Spadef drop on that last one. Okay. No Spadef drop there either. Okay. Miss. There's no way. There's just no way. There's 2 shots from here. Just don't put it in healing range. I don't think that's heal range. Dude, there's just no way. There's just no way. No! Oh, no. Come on, miss another one. Miss another one. If you miss just one more, just miss one more. Please. Miss it. Alright, I'm gonna need you to hold somehow. I don't know how you could possibly hold. You're a Miss Magius. You're frail. Let's go. Take it out. Take it out. Take it out. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Let's go. Oh my god. Paralysis or crit. Come on. Paralysis or crit, please. I'm begging you. Please. Oh. Oh. I think we're gonna come up just short. I mean, I think I'm just cooked. I think I probably, I might even get flinched here. Yeah. Oh my god. Hold on. Hold the phones. Crit. One time. One time. All right. I didn't even get, oh, I could have gotten the para too. Heel turn? Heel turn. That was so close. Togekiss is sitting there with like 10 HP.
That was an absolute heartbreaker. For just a moment, I had a bit of hope that Fantina could pull it out, just for Togekiss to rip that hope away. Fantina's team is absolutely my favorite so far. Between Miss Magius and Gengar, she has some strong offense, though defensively her squad does leave a lot to be desired. Drifblim was basically useless throughout the run, and I feel like Dusknoir was held back by her set just a little bit. But even with those drawbacks, Fantina never really had to sweat out any of the Elite Four matchups. In terms of the champion fight, my takeaway is that there's definitely a line with good enough luck that gets Fantina into the Hall of Fame. However, we saw just about the closest thing to that, and I still came up short. Ultimately, I feel like I could run back that fight 100 times and never get as close as I did on this first attempt. So while Fantina could technically become champion of Sinnoh, I think it is highly, highly unlikely.
Whoa, children fighting! I can sell this!
The lean, mean fighting machine of Maylene is up next, and she has 5 Pokemon befitting of Veilstone City's queen. Though I guess this queen has forgotten about the existence of citrus berries because her team is the only one without any. But that's okay because this team is looking pretty well built. I need to take a moment to thank the physical special split for allowing Medicham and Breloom to have great movesets with a wide range of types covered. Honestly, the only potential issue I could see this team running into is psychic types. Well, that's not good. But let's pretend this man doesn't exist for the moment and instead enjoy some fairer fights. I know Aaron's Yanmega looks scary, but the plan is simple. I lead with Machamp and get crit by Air Slash. Wait, that's not how that's supposed to go. I know Aaron's Yanmega looks scary, but the plan is simple. I lead with Machamp, watch the Dragonfly use a move called Double Team, and sit back and relax as the superpower Pokemon connects on a Stone Edge for a quick one-hit knockout. Easy, riskless, never in doubt. Machamp keeps the ball rolling against Drapion, trading Aerial Aces and Earthquakes, and after 2 turns, Aaron's ace falls. Shout out to Machamp's pretty solid physical bulk. Aaron sends out Heracross looking to steer this fight back on track, but it's looking like too little too late. He KOs Machamp with a close combat, which I'm more than happy with. With the ensuing defense drop, Medichamp's Fire Punch easily KOs. After Breloom gets a taste of this Elite Four, another Medicham Fire Punch gets the job done against Scizor. Another clean, riskless Aaron battle. Way to go, Maylene. And now there is no fear heading into this bout with Bertha because I have Breloom. It's snack time, buddy. Seed Bomb sinks the lead Whiscash, revealing Bertha's not-so-secret weapon, Gliscor. And while she claims Lucario, this sacrifice lets me reveal my not-so-secret weapon, Medicham Ice Punch. Good night, Gliscor. It's a sweet Breloom sweep from here, and we're heading back to Flint. And this battle, well, I do have a bit of a concern. Breloom and Lucario are both weak to fire, so we're actually heading into this one at a bit of a disadvantage. Not to mention the fact that Hitmontop's damage output is less than ideal. But just because Lucian is looming doesn't mean I shouldn't try. It's time to maximize Maylene's potential. Houndoom, no problem. A simple close combat does the trick. Flareon shouldn't be a problem, though only getting 3 hits of Bone Rush is a bit unfortunate. The Evolution is likely the only Mon left who Breloom can outspeed, so I send her in and she proceeds to hit a clutch Stone Edge for the Oko. I could have utilized Spore Strats had I missed, but I'll more than gladly take a quick KO. Rapidash? Now this guy is a massive problem.
Please miss, actually. Okay, wait a second. Wait a second. Hold the phones. I can also just, yeah, I'm Mach Punch here. See if maybe we can pull a crit. Dude, it's too easy. It's too free.
I love Breloom. My fighting mushroom gets off one last Mach Punch before succumbing to a flamethrower, so now it's Medicham time. Am I worried that high jump kick will miss? Of course not. We now have a 3v1 on our hands, but this is no time to take my foot off the gas. Somehow Medi survives a Flare Blitz and responds with a Thunder Punch. That unfortunately does not land a paralysis. We're totally fine though. Hitmontop comes in with Intimidate, takes a Flare Blitz, and well, that's not good. Oh no, that's even worse. Yeah, so that burn has given Flint a chance. A full restore extends the battle, and Hitmontop fails to KO Sinnoh's Firestarter by himself. That leaves just one Pokemon. Can he clutch up? He can. Dodging the Flare Blitz burn means that with one final Earthquake, Maylene has defeated Flint. Maybe the stakes weren't that high considering what we're about to go up against, but I'm so proud of this team for finding a way to pull out the victory. As for what's next, yeah, Lucian's team just hard counters Maylene's. With no way to OHKO Mr. Mime, Reflect goes up and Lucian's lead claims both Lucario and Hitmontop. I do eventually manage to take it out with Breloom, but Espeon comes in for some revenge, and it's just a matter of time before Maylene's run comes to an end. I like this team, but it's so clearly flawed. I would have loved to see someone with Sucker Punch to help out against Psychics, but realistically, I'm not sure how much that would have helped against a whole team of them.
This is the tallest waterfall on the planet.
We're halfway through this challenge, and yet we have 0 new champions. But the favorite has arrived. Crasher Wake's team is strong, balanced, and built around the best type in the game. And he has stars. Each of these Pokemon play a different role, which will allow me to shift my strategies as the run progresses. Look at Quagsire, man. Look at him. An absolute star. Aaron's Yanmega sets up a double team, and you already know what time it is. 100% accurate Stone Edge, baby! Seriously, every time I need a Mon to hit one, they come through. Quagsire will be our Drapion answer, so I swap in Gyarados to answer Heracross. With the help of a Stone Edge miss, the big fish gets it done. I gotta say, I'm a big Vespiquen fan, but the Queen Bee absolutely takes the cake for the weakest link in this entire Elite Four. I sleep better knowing I have a guaranteed KO in every Aaron matchup. Gyarados keeps putting in work against Drapion, but after missing an Aqua Tail, Quagsire re-enters the fight. He puts in a little cleanup duty against Aaron's Ace and his Scizor. 2 Mon Aaron. Way better than I expected, to be honest. Bertha, meet Ludicolo. 2 down and I haven't even broken a sweat. I'm feeling good, especially with Flint coming up next. Time to get Sharpedo in on the action. He's the perfect opener against the Dark-type Houndoom. While Aqua Jet unfortunately doesn't quite KO, Sludge Bomb doesn't crit, so we're all good. Now let's face off against Infernape.
Alright, we Aqua Jet before going down here. Nice. I don't know how much damage this will do. I get absolutely destroyed here by Thunder Punch. I'm honestly... Let's go! This is insane. I don't even know what to say.
And Sharpedo's run doesn't even end there. Thanks to Solar Beam AI, Sharpedo takes out Rapidash before the Fire Horse lands a hit. I mean, I know you're cooked in this matchup, Flint, but you could be trying a little harder. Magmortar puts a stop to Sharpedo's shenanigans, but Solar Beam AI strikes again to clear a path for a Quagsire KO. It's really just too easy. And even though we have a neutral matchup in Lucian, it's not much harder. Floatzel makes his debut, and he crunches through Mr. Mime and Alakazam. He also provides enough chip damage for Gyarados to finish off Gallade, and from here, Sharpedo takes us home. Listen, we all knew this team would be here, but Cynthia has a 2-0 record in this challenge, she has a numbers advantage, and she has Garchomp. Can Crasher Wake's team rise above? Let's find out. Once again, I'm leading with my most expendable Pokemon against Spiritomb. Believe it or not, this is Gyarados. You'll see why soon enough, but for now, enjoy the Sea Dragon hitting back-to-back Aqua Tails to dispose of the forbidden Pokemon. Togekiss is next, seeing a juicy 4 times effective Shockwave. Quite simply, I'm just praying that Gyarados survives. I retaliate with Avalanche, but it doesn't quite KO. Knowing I faint to 1 more hit, I follow Cynthia's full restore with a Giga Impact for another massive amount of damage. Admittedly, I was hoping Gyarados would win this matchup, but alas, it's time to steer. I deliberate for a while on the best Mon to switch into KO Togekiss, and I land on Sharpedo. Why? Because he baits in Roserade.
Maybe we can pick up another crit. Maybe we can do it. Just maybe. Oh. For a second there, I really did think. For a second, I really did think we had it. I really did think we had it for a second. That's tough. There's no way. There's just absolutely no way I just lived that. There's no way. I know. It can heal. Night slash. Night slash. Cynthia just threw. She has Energy Ball. And she didn't use it. What more can you say about Sharpedo and really all of these Pokemon, man? I am faster though, so I get this off. Is that a crit? Unbelievable. This is insane. My initial plan here was I was going to go Quagsire, take a hit, and then Earthquake for the kill. But it's interesting because I could go in with Floatzel here, and then if I KO this, I'll be out against Garchomp without having to sack anything. I think that's the play, because this is below 50% HP, so Brine does more damage. That's right, we're pulling out the Brine tech. Yeah. Show me Garchomp on phase 2. Okay. So this is my best Garchomp answer. I am indeed faster. I do indeed hit it. Garchomp does have the Citrus. That's good damage. Yeah, I think I have to go for it because no matter what, I think best case scenario here would be it goes for Dragon Rush and misses. We could also, yeah, we could pull Flinch, we could pull Freeze. Those are on the table as well. I don't think this KOs, doesn't quite KO. No status, we get Flamethrower. This is going to be so unbelievably close. We're going to see the heel turn here. I cannot afford to get any bad RNG in my direction now. What's it doing? Maybe 2/3? That's about 3/4 maybe. I would love to see a Dragon Rush miss. Let's go! Oh, yeah! Let's go! Ice Beam, Garchomp, down. And I have Ludi still here at full HP, up to level 60 as my Lodic comes in. In my opinion, it would be an absolute throw to do anything else. I'm just hoping this does like half, and then we can take it from there. Ooh. We do get Mirror Coated. Okay. I guess the next question now is, does this take me out? It does not quite take me out. The play here is simple. Quagsire takes a hit. We Earthquake, and Earthquake has to kill. I actually don't think... If Earthquake does not KO here, I think I lose. Alright. Big Quag. Come on. Let's see it. Let's go, baby. Crasher Wake is a champion. And his water types are in the Hall of Fame. Folks, we have ourselves a champion. It wasn't easy, but Crasher Wake had just enough to come out on top. 5 Pokemon with 5 unique typings and a group that synergizes well with one another. We had speed, bulk, power, type coverage. Overall, Crasher Wake has built himself a well-balanced mono-water team that you can't help but respect. Congratulations to Crasher Wake, the first new champion in the Sinnoh Gym Leader Challenge.
No, I am your father.
As an avid Nuzlocker, the Steel type is one of my favorites because of its defensive versatility. These Pokemon can switch in against just about anyone and take hit after hit. Also, Blue Steel. Byron has done pretty well for himself in building this team. He actually has some offensive options in Magnezone and Aggron, and who doesn't love Skarmory? The Steel Bird is one of my all-time favorite Pokemon. There's just one problem. Well, actually, there are 2. Bertha and Flint. Both are ready to feast on this team like I feast on lasagna at my grandparents' house. Aaron? Well, he's ready to feast on this team like I feast on peanut butter. And I hate peanut butter. I don't eat it. I'm getting nauseous just even thinking about it. With the strong defensive matchup, Byron's Mons pretty much just sit on all of Aaron's bugs. Yanmega, no match for Magnezone. Heracross lands a crit to KO, but Skarmory revenge kills with Drill Peck. And then I stop messing around and just let Aggron go to work. Drapion, Scizor, Vespiquen, none of them have anything for my big lizard, and once again, that's Aaron down. Alright, so I spent a long time coming up with a plan for this Bertha fight, and what I have come up with is certainly one of the plans of all time. I know Magnezone Flash Cannon will be crucial against Rhyperior and Golem, but outside of that, I'm just ballin' hard. What do you do when you don't have a grass type for Whiscash? Pretend Skarmory is a grass type, of course. With 3 of Byron's Mons having a quad ground weakness and the other being Steelix with a water weakness, it's not like I have much of a choice. It's not pretty, but Skarmory holds strong. And oh my Arceus, that's a crit Drill Peck. Goat. Golem is going for Thunder Punch here, so it's Magnezone's time to shine, and yeah, I totally forgot about Fire Punch. That sucks. Thankfully, I don't get punished for my lackadaisical play, and Magnezone does their thing, taking down Golem as well as the ensuing Rhyperior. Not to get too in the weeds of Gen 4 switching AI, but I took advantage of a well-known bug in the code for this chain KO. As Gliscor switches in, you're probably thinking, Drew, you're done for. You don't have anything for Gliscor. Silly viewer, you have forgotten about the best Gliscor counter in the land, Steelix. The Iron Snake knows Ice Fang, and by dodging 2 crits on Gliscor's Earthquakes, he 2-shots with his Frosty Fangs. And watch this, Hippowdon notches a KO against Steelix, but in steps Bastiodon. Yes, Bastiodon, with a quad weakness to ground. Against Hippowdon, who has a 112 base attack stat, and uses Earthquake. But that was all part of the plan. Metal Burst reflects the damage back with a 50% increase, and down goes the Hippo. You know what, if Byron was able to overcome the odds to beat Bertha, then maybe he can do it against Flint too. Okay, yeah, no he can't. I mean, right off the bat, Houndoom gets the Flamethrower burn on Aggron, and I immediately lose probably my best Mon for this fight. Bastiodon avenges his fellow Steel Rock type, but of course he draws out Infernape. But it's okay because Metal Burst still... This is just going from bad to worse. Skarmory Dropek knocks out Infernape, and thanks to some heroics from Magnezone against Flareon and Rapidash, I do manage to get Flint down to his final Pokemon. However, my final Pokemon is Steelix, who is definitely going down to a Flamethrower, and even if he somehow survives, he doesn't have a Ground-type move to respond. So, that's all she wrote for Byron. This team was the unfortunate victim of circumstance. I think it's a pretty solid team. Not perfect by any means, but solid. However, when you have to go up against 2 types you're weak to in the Elite Four, that's an uphill battle that most mono-type teams cannot overcome.
You want to talk about a supply and demand problem? I sell ice for a living.
To me, Candace is the most intriguing gym leader coming into this challenge. The ice type is known for being, well, bad, especially all the way back in Gen 4, but it is Garchomp's kryptonite. So if Candace can get to the champion's room, she might very well just pop off. It's also important to mention that her team is one of just 2 in this challenge to be built around weather. But while Gardenia's use of Sun was situational at best, and harmful against Flint at worst, Candace's Hail strategy projects to be very effective. For one, by setting Hail with Abomasnow's Snow Warning ability as opposed to the move Hail, the weather will be set permanently unless my opponent changes it. Second, the Hail will set up 100% accurate blizzards for my big hitters in Frostlass and Glaceon, both of whom will have boosted evasion from Snowcloak as well. This is maybe the best built team in this entire challenge. For ice of all types, way to go Candace. The other type in the conversation for the worst in battle is the bug type, so this fight right here will settle the debate. Surely, I could open with Abomasnow to set Hail. I probably should, but I don't. Instead, I send out Mamoswine, hoping she will outspeed Aaron's lead. She does, and a single ancient power does the trick. The Woolly Mammoth is my best Drapion answer, so I swap in Abomasnow to meet Scizor and set Hail. I don't actually have any great attack options for this guy on my entire team, so I simply send some Wood Hammers and Blizzards his way. With Hail up, the rest of this fight is a piece of cake. Frostlass Blizzard Oko's Hera. Holy Miltank! Thank you, Hail Chip. But actually though, Frostlass Blizzards through Vespiquen and Drapion, and I can't help but feel like this team is going to do something special. Bertha is undoubtedly the easiest matchup for Candace, especially since her team comes equipped with a way to counter Hippowdon's Sandstream. Of course, Abomasnow is the opener with the Waterground Catfish on the other side. Woodhammer obliterates Bertha's lead and she responds with Gliscor? Does she know I have ice types? So what's funny about this team is the Mon who's typically the best of these 5 is Weavile, but this Weavile has such a terrible moveset that it's the worst on this team. Avalanche? A negative priority move on a fast glass cannon? Ice Punch exists, Candace. Ice Punch! So, Weavile is simply an intentional sack here. Never mind, Heart of a Champion, Avalanche Oko, good work, buddy. Now Weavile falls, and you already know who I'm going to. It's time for some more Frostlass gaming. Count with me. Blizzard 1, Blizzard 2, Blizzard 3, you're out. Frostlass has now KO'd 6 of the 10 Mons we've seen in this Elite Four run. Insanity. See this man right here? I don't fear him. I don't. Yeah, I've lost him both times I've gone in with a type disadvantage, but this time will be different. Because we've got Mamoswine, baby. Houndoom and Flareon don't even stand a chance with this behemoth on the field. Rapidash being faster throws a bit of a wrinkle into things, so I take the opportunity to set Hail with Abomasnow as the Fire Horse. Solar Beams? Oh, Flint, you kill me sometimes. You really do. Between Woodhammer damage and the Flare Blitz recoil, Rapidash finds herself in full restore range as Abomasnow falls. You know what that means. It's time for some more Mamoswine money. I figure I may as well give Mamoswine a chance to live a hit from Infernape, and of course he does. He also dodges the burn, so another Earthquake brings down the ape. And then, against all odds, he actually outspeeds Magmortar and picks up a 5th and final frag against Flint. And just like that, Mamoswine has tied Froslass on the KO leaderboard. This team is a buzzsaw. If fire can't stop it, then what will? I know I badmouthed Weavile in the Bertha fight, but if there was ever a fight for her to shine, it's this one against Lucian. As usual, I want to knock out Mr. Mime immediately. Feint Attack makes quick work of Lucian's lead, so it's time to deal with Gallade. Admittedly, the part fighting type is a slight annoyance for Candace, but I do have an immunity in Froslass, so the goal is to get to her. I start by sending in Abomasnow for Snow Warning, and sacking her opens the door for Froslass. Treading an Ominous Wind for a Stone Edge, I realize I may have come into this fight with a bit too much confidence. Gallade has me cornered, and it's looking like I'm about to lose Froslass. Of course, I get the Omni boost from Ominous Wind now, but Snow Cloak strikes. The legend of Froslass grows. I sack my legend to Bronzong, giving Glaceon her first action since the Aaron battle. Unfortunately, Blizzard doesn't quite KO, and Bronzong sets up a Calm Mind. Great. Now Lucian is going to full restore and have all the momentum on his side.
Oh wow, okay, no heal up from Lucian. That's a KO. So much for Calm Mind. Wow. I feel like the chances I live a Focus Blast are actually quite high. It's non-stab, and Glaceon has pretty solid special bulk. So I feel like I actually might live this. I mean, we're just out here having fun right now. I mean, we're pulling out all the tech right now. You never know. Signal Beam. Does that really kill? Probably does. If this KOs, which I doubt it will, but that'd be so funny if he picked up like a crit or something. That was dangerously close for Lucian there. I'm not gonna lie. Heel turn perhaps, and we pull a crit on this one. No, but I mean it's stab guaranteed hit Blizzard. Like I feel like that's probably the play. Crit. Oh, I thought, no way! There is just no shot. You can't make this up. You just can't.
There's just no way. Mamoswine didn't even have to get off the bench. And with that, it's time for another battle with Pokemon's greatest champion. I obviously have answers for Garchomp, but Lucario, Milotic, and Togekiss all present different challenges. This is by no means going to be an easy fight. Past Drew, the floor is yours.
This is, in my opinion, the best team I have used. Crasher Wake's team is really good, but you talk about a consistent strategy, this team has it. How about a little inconsistency right off the bat? I kind of got to hit this Blizzard. Tough. Probably need to hit the second. Okay. My thinking is Blizzard plus Shadow Ball gets the job done here. There is absolutely no shot. Oh my god. This is unreal. This is just unreal. Please, actually, if this isn't KO, we're gonna get the full restore. Insane. It's 50-50 Aura Sphere or Stone Edge, and I think he's gonna go Aura Sphere. I think this is Aura Sphere. Okay, we could have dodged Stone Edge there, which, I mean, that's what would have happened in the last fight for sure. Get a Confusion one time. Just pick up the crit Confusion. Okay. Absolute legend this Glaceon is. I'm gonna be real. I think you just live in Aura Sphere. Of course, you could get crit, which would suck. I would be very disappointed if that were to happen. And I don't want to be disappointed. Let's go. I'll admit that was a little bit closer than maybe I would have thought. You know what? As long as there's health in that HP bar, we're good. All right, 2 down. I'm actually faster. Okay. Good night, Milotic. That's it for you. I think this fight is as good as over, to be totally 100% honest, because I have Froslass. And Froslass is incredibly fast. And right now, we have Hail Up, meaning that every time I use Blizzard, it always hits. And if you look at the rest of Cynthia's team, you'll notice a common theme. They all get cooked by ice moves, so it is Cynthia's ace who hits the field. I am faster. I'm using a quad effective, huge base power ice move. And Garchomp is going right back to the bench. What do you think is gonna happen here, Cynthia? One more Blizzard. And I'm watching that HP bar tick down. And Candace can indeed become champion of Pokemon Platinum's Sinnoh region.
My Arceus, Candace has done it. Frostlass's flurry of blizzards turned out to be enough to put this team in the Hall of Fame. This was some of the most fun I've had in these gym leader challenges. The team has so much synergy and honestly just dominated from start to finish. We steamrolled Aaron, Bertha, and Flint, and while Lucian was a bit trickier than I anticipated, I still ended up winning while using just 4 of Candace's Pokemon. And Cynthia, once Frostlass hit that field, it was over. So I say this with the utmost confidence, Candace can indeed become Sinnoh champion. This team has Luxray, so in my book, Volkner's already a champion. But does he have what it takes to become the champion? Well, okay, this team has 3 main issues. They are named Jolteon, Raichu, and Garchomp. The first 2 just don't add much to this team, and the third probably sweeps me out of the room. But I'm hoping the core of Luxray, Lantern, and Electivire will be enough to at least get me past Bertha. I'm 7-0 against Aaron during this challenge, and that perfect record holds as Electivire sweeps through the Bug-type Master's entire team. Second straight gym leader challenge without losing to the first Elite Four member. But now, the fight you've all been waiting for in this Volkner run. Bertha. Honestly, there isn't much of a plan here. I'm just gonna send in Mons and try my best. For example, without any grass coverage for Whiscash, I open with Raichu. I Brick Break and Light Screen, but it is an expectedly poor showing from the Electric Mouse. Thankfully, that Light Screen provides just enough of a special defense boost for Luxray to nab a KO with some crunches. Of course, Hippowdon is about to end my guy's whole career. Or not. A big time throw from Bertha as she misses the low accuracy Stone Edge instead of taking the guaranteed Earthquake KO. This allows me to get another Ice Fang in, which does the perfect amount of damage, avoiding the Hippo's Citrus Berry. Surf's up, baby. I love surfing. Yeah, never done it in real life, but I love the move in Pokemon. Yeah! Now there's just one Pokemon left. Let's go.
So I will say this, if I were to get crit, I'd probably wipe. So just don't crit. I don't feel like that's an unreasonable ask. You know? Alright, that's tough. I have to go Jolteon first. Can Volkner get past this fight? Yes. I mean, literally, I was 1 crit away from getting through. Can I pull a burn here, maybe? Nah. The thing is, I know I get cooked by Garchomp. Like, I took a look at the Garchomp matchup, and it's not pretty. I think I have to Giga Impact here and hope for crit. Yeah, I think I have to... No way! Oh my god, he actually did it. We're moving on.
What a scuffed fight, but hey, a win is a win. Well, after that, Flint is looking like a piece of pie. Apple specifically, that's my favorite type of pie. Electivire swiftly sends Houndoom packing with a Brick Break, and he gets in a Giga Impact before falling to Infernape. Unfortunately, the Ape is in full restore range now, so rather than just going for damage, I utilize Raichu's Thunder Wave to gain a speed advantage. Naturally, Infernape hits through Paralysis twice to KO Raichu, but that's totally fine. Lantern now outspeeds and surfs to kill. Hello, Rapidash.
I can't switch here. Don't paralyze. Don't you dare do it again. That's really bad for me. It's probably not quite as bad as, like, Sun going up. But it's bad. Let me be clear on that. My ability to win this fight now probably hinges on whether I can hit through here before I get Solar Beam. Solar Beam might not do that much damage either. It is non-stab. Oh, it's so bad. That's so bad. We have this in hit through. I can find something for Flareon. I don't have anything else for Magmortar. Please hit through. I think you get one more chance to hit through. Oh! He didn't know about Volt Absorb. He didn't know about Volt Absorb. You're definitely going to get another chance to hit through. Please, I am begging you. You're 0 for 3 so far. You got crit against Gliscor. Thank you, Lantern. I like Lantern. I don't know why Lantern's doing me like this, but I guess also please kill. Thank you. Nice crit. Okay, you know what? It's all been forgiven.
I can't with this game. At this point, it's basically over. Jolteon of Almons finishes the fight, giving me my 6th win over Flint. Lucian, for the final time in this challenge, let's ride. I open with Electivire again, this time Giga impacting to KO Mr. Mime on the first turn. Again, I simply cannot let screens go up in this battle. The recharge turn gives Bronzong an opportunity to Calm Mind, but that actually works in my favor with us trading physical attacks. But now, for one last time, Gallade hits the field. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not sure if I have what it takes to get past this guy. Raichu and Jolteon are useless, Lantern gets cooked by Leaf Blade, and Luxray is probably fine, but would leave me vulnerable to Alakazam and Espeon. So, what am I gonna do?
I'm gonna Thunder Punch. I'm gonna see if I could maybe pull a Paralysis? I don't know. We'll see. Oh, wow. Is that a crit?
Let's go. Alakazam comes in to avenge his friend, but fails to KO with Psychic, opening the door for a Thunder Punch that doesn't quite KO, but paralyzes. Though it does get reflected back because of Zam's Synchronize. But then, of course, Evire hits Giga Impact through the paralysis to pick up the KO. What a beast. Luxray closes against Espeon, and for the 5th time in this challenge, we're heading to the champion's room. I'm gonna make this one quick. I already told you that Garchomp packs this team up, and that's basically exactly what happens. I try some Raichu light screen strats against Spiritomb that go horribly, and after Luxray KOs, Garchomp drops in. Cynthia's ace makes quick work of Volkner's electric squad, and in a flash, the power has gone out on this run. I would have loved to have seen Luxray become a champion, but alas, today is not that day. Perhaps some other time, or perhaps in some other challenge. So we have found 2 gym leaders who have what it takes to become Pokémon Platinum champions. Congratulations to Crasher Wake and Candace. 2 dominant performances, especially Candace given how she overpowered not just the Elite Four, but Cynthia herself. 3 leaders, Rourke, Fantina, and Volkner, came up just short against Cynthia, though their runs, especially Fantina's, were still very impressive. If you have any thoughts on how I played these battles, please let me know in the comments. I'm sure there are different strategies I could have used or lines I didn't see, and I'd absolutely love to hear from you on that, or anything really. I had a ton of fun with this challenge, and thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, that makes me so happy. I have a lot more videos on the way, and I plan on continuing this challenge in other games. So stay tuned and please consider subscribing. I'm super excited about what's coming next, and I'd love to have you along for the ride. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.